and welcome to 103.9 HistoryCast. Tonight we have a Christmas special, which is a reenactment of possibly the most heartfelt moment of World War I, the Christmas Truce. During World War I, British and German troops did the unthinkable. They stopped fighting and celebrated Christmas together. Tonight's actors are Chris Borden playing Captain William Boyd and German soldiers 3 and 4. Next we have R.T. Scalero playing Captain Rudolph and German soldiers 1 and 2. Next we have Jonas Schulzen playing British soldiers 3 and 2, and Nick Riffle is playing British soldiers 4 and 1. Our last actor is playing General Horace and Karl Adzog, Roy McClure.
As Christmas 1914 approaches, a cold, rainy Europe is in the throes of World War I. The war which pits the Allies, including Britain, France, Russia, and eventually the USA, against the Central Powers, including Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Turkey, have grown out of tensions building on the continent for years. Near the French and German border, the French and the British troops are trying to prevent Germany from capturing more of France. Along the Western Front, the soldiers are engaged in a brutal battle of trench warfare. The Western Front is more than 475 miles long, opposing armies crouched in parallel trenches that in some places are only 50 yards apart. Between them, it lies a no-man's land of barbed wire and corpses. From the trenches, the soldiers try to fire on the enemy. In one of the muddy trenches, an exhausted British soldier sits and awaits orders.
I'm tired of the mud. It's been raining for weeks, and we've been stuck down here.
Just then, Captain William Boyd approaches with orders from the High Command, headquartered in London.
Men, we must attack!
Another suicide run. Good luck. Same to you.
30 British troops scramble out of their trenches. They dash out across no man's land, leaping over the barbed wire, and had secretly cut through the night before. They hoped that their approach would be a surprise, but the Germans are ready. From the safety of their trenches, they shoot down the British troops.
The generals are ordering these raids just to keep the men from getting bored.
Elsewhere on the front, a German soldier and a philosophy student named Karl Aldag writes a letter to his parents.
This life fills me with disgust. There are rats and lice everywhere.
We're about to attack. How can you write a letter?
I might not have it. I might not make it back.
Another night, Captain Boyd sends 2 soldiers into no man's land on a mission to gather information. They return as quietly as they left.
Did you get it?
So we heard them talking, but we couldn't understand what they were saying.
We heard them coughing and laughing too. Why were they laughing?
I don't know, sir, but it sounded just like us.
Meanwhile, on the German side,
Do you hear that?
Hear what?
The British are singing hymns. How beautiful.
You are too sentimental for war. This is war.
You can find beauty even in war if you pay attention.
as Christmas nears, men along the Western Front reach out to the enemy in different ways, but at British headquarters, General Smith Horace Dorian is not happy. He issues new orders for the troops.
If our men don't see the Germans as enemies, all is lost. Federation is officially prohibited.
The High Command on each side orders attacks leading up to Christmas. Thousands of men are killed or wounded, but the day before the holiday, soldiers get gift boxes from home. Many German troops receive small pine trees with candles. On Christmas Eve, it snows. The muddy ground freezes. It makes it easier for the men to move about the trenches. Then Captain Boyd receives another order from the High Command.
Men, the enemy may be planning a Christmas attack.
Captain, look!
German soldiers are standing in no man's land with lighted Christmas trees. They sing Silent Night in German.
It's amazing.
The British watch the Germans in awe.
Maybe a Christmas Caesar fire is a good idea after all.
And Captain Boyd ventures into no man's land. Behind him, men sing Silent Night in English. Similar incidents are happening elsewhere along the front. This angers Captain Binding.
We cannot have German soldiers singing with the British. Men at war should not celebrate Christmas together.
On Christmas morning, men from the front awaken to silence. No planes, no machine gun fire or explosions. They hear birds for the first time in months. On the German side, Alec stands and looks across no man's land.
What do you see?
A sign. It says Merry Christmas. Shall we write Bob?
I have a better idea.
The soldier grabs his gift and walks slowly into no man's land. A British soldier joins him there. And they shake hands, exchange presents, communicating as best as they can. Ceasefires take place all along the Western Front, and men from opposing sides offer each other holiday greetings, but the signs of the enemies making peace enrages Captain Binding.
Such a thing should never happen in wartime.
But Captain, it's Christmas.
Having no sense of honor.
Honor is the very much thing on the men's minds as they stand in no man's land, surrounded by the bodies of their fallen comrades. They help each other bury the dead, holding services in both German and English. Before returning to their trenches, soldiers exchange food and souvenirs.
You ever seen such a Christmas, Captain?
Never!
Today, peace will probably bring hell tomorrow.
I suspect, gentlemen, that we will feel it was worth it.
When word of the Christmas truce gets back to the British general, a few days later, he is furious.
I want the names of those units and officers who took part in this. They must be principled.
Captain Binding conveys a similar message to his men on the German side.
High commands that fratricide must stop. Officers allowing it will be court-martialed. It's time to fight.
Sir, they are good men. We can't shoot them.
If you won't shoot the enemy, the officers will shoot you.
British soldiers also struggle with their orders.
I won't shoot at them. How can I? We exchanged Christmas gifts. No one said we had to shoot at them.
All along the front, the soldiers have the same idea. Fire their weapons as ordered, but shoot into the air so no one will get hurt. In some places, officers issue warnings before shooting starts, but General Smith-Dorrien is furious.
We will reassign the units, separating the opponents who have become friendly. A truce like this will never happen again.
In the end, men have no choice as they're forced back into battle. Peace and goodwill are once again things of the past. By the time the war ended in 1918, little ground had been gained. The front lines were remarkably similar to those who had existed in 1914, but nearly 9 million soldiers, including about 117,000 Americans and 6 million civilians, had died in the conflict. About 100,000 people died along the Western Front and are believed to have taken part in the Christmas Truce of 1914. Today, the actions of those men serve as a powerful reminder that even in war, enemies can put down their weapons and extend a hand in peace.
Thank you for listening to 103.9 HistoryCast. Have a Merry Christmas, and remember to tune in next time. Thanks again. We appreciate all donations, no matter what's the size, even though this is a fake broadcast. Don't just have a great night, have an American night.